New York City Mayor and 2020 presidential candidate Bill de Blasio out with some rather eyebrow-raising comments because he's telling reporters that anti-Semitism is somehow a right-wing movement. He says, and let me quote it for you here, "I think the ideological movement that is anti-Semitic is the right-wing movement. I want to be very, very clear. The threat that is ideological is very much from the right." Huh? Wait, I'm sorry, has he not seen Louis Farrakhan? Has he not seen some of the comments, the very anti-Semitic comments over and over and over again from Ilhan Omar? I mean, last I checked, they're all Democrats, right? How is this suddenly the right-wing movement? You look at the administration right now, this president is more of a friend to Israel than anyone we have seen in recent history. Perhaps anyone ever. I mean, and he has every right to be with a son-in-law who is Jewish, with a daughter who is Jewish, with grandchildren that are Jewish, and somehow anti-Semitism is coming from the right? I'm sorry. I'm not going to buy that one. Joining me right now is Daily Caller's Stephanie Hamill. She's not buying it either. And Democratic strategist Robert Patillo. Robert, come on. I mean, for goodness sakes, you want to sit there with a straight face, any Democrat anywhere, and tell me that anti-Semitism is a right-wing ideology?
Well, 2 points on that. One, Bill de Blasio will never be president. He needs to work on fixing the subway in New York before he starts running around the country.
Yeah,
and two, Louis Farrakhan is not a Democrat.
Okay,
Louis
well,
Farrakhan
Ilhan Omar
is anti-political. Wait, hold on. Well, because you brought up Farrakhan first, you were playing clips of Farrakhan. Farrakhan endorsed Donald Trump March 1st of 2016 and was a vocal Trump supporter.
Right,
he is pro-life, he is pro-small business, he's anti-socialism.
Let me spread the wealth around, unfortunately, of Democrats with anti-Semitic comments. We got a clip, right? Okay, the team's going to play it for you. Here we go.
I want to talk about the political influence in this country that says it is okay for people to push for allegiance to a foreign country.
And there's a kind of a calming feeling I always tell folks when I think of the Holocaust and the tragedy of the Holocaust and the fact that it was my ancestors, Palestinians, who lost their land and some lost their lives, was in the name of trying to create a safe haven for Jews.
In the occupation of Palestine.
You use the term the occupation of Palestine. What did you mean by that?
I am not the expert on geopolitics on this issue.
Okay, and by the way, Robert, just so we can set the record straight here, Louis Farrakhan never endorsed Donald Trump. He made some comments like, "I like what I see," but never endorsed him. And Stephanie, you heard all those Democrats, whether it's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, whether it's Rashid Tlaib, whether it's Ilhan Omar, they're saying some pretty anti-Semitic stuff. That is the Democratic Party today. That is where the energy is today, is it not?
Yeah, Trish, I don't even know where to start with this. I have so much to say. We don't have enough time to cover it all.
Go for it.
I will respond to Farrakhan is a friend to the left. He's been in pictures with Obama. He's a favorite of the Democrats. They never condemn anything that he says, so I want to get that out of the way. Next, I mean, you just played some of those sound bites, and that's just a portion of the things that we've heard and seen. A lot of these congresswomen like Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib, they had an anti-Semitic past. They thought if they deleted their tweets that we would just all forget about it. I mean, their platform and having a voice has really emboldened the anti-Semites out there, and they're not even being condemned. And if you think about the anti-hate resolution that passed, that was originally to condemn anti-Semitism, the Democrats ended up watering all that down, including everything in it, so they ended up not tackling anti-Semitism. And I also want to point out, Bill de Blasio is so wrong, as usual. I mean, he gets it wrong all the time. But for him to suggest that this is inspired by the right is ludicrous. We heard the New York Police Department say that the people that are committing these hate crimes are teenagers, they're the mentally ill, they're former criminals. We don't even know who's committing it. So, I mean, sorry, we know who's committing it. It's not like right-wingers are out in the street and in a very liberal city like Brooklyn attacking minorities and other people.
Hey, you do have a lot to say, but I hear you. I mean, it's kind of preposterous. Robert, you want to respond to that?
Well, just very quickly, understand you are conflating being against the Israeli foreign policy with being anti-Semitic. Those are two completely separate issues.
I don't know.
And
When you
understand
talk about,
when you
how
have
somehow the
white
Holocaust,
supremacists
makes you
walking through the
happy
streets
or
of
somehow
Charlottesville
relieved.
chanting "Jews will not replace us," that is an example of anti-Semitism. There's a difference between having policy disagreements with Netanyahu and walking through the streets of Charlottesville chanting "Jews will not replace us." That's what they mean when they say the right is animating anti-Semitism.
When you talk about a calming feeling because of the Holocaust, I mean, that sounds kind of blatant to me. I'm going to leave it there, Stephanie. Robert, thank you. We've got a whole lot more coming up, including a video of a 97-year-old D-Day veteran parachuting back into Normandy.